peace, power, and love for our people worldwide. I want to say, before the rise of the sun, be blessed, have a blessed day, beginning of a day, allowed by our Creator, that energetic, universal power that people call God, whatever they want to call it. But it's a spirit, it's an energetic, universal, natural, divine essence that flows through our body and give us that breath of life. In that energy, I say, Ashe, Hotep. I want to get this picture of my sister. Where's my sister at? Right there. That sister right there. Yeah. I want her to be in the picture this morning, so we can give. Then there go my mother's also. I want all that in the picture this morning, so I can give. Feel that energy of Sojourner, her, and sister Kimberly over there somewhere, and then my mother Murray and Ruth. Murray brought me into this world. Ruth raised me. So I want to give honor to all women of the world, all melanated women of the world. We should hold in high esteem. We should pay homage to them, because through them, through the canal of life of the Yanni, is where all life began and came into this realm, this dimension. And I want to give and pay respect to our sisters. And I want to say, again, peace, power, and love from each and every one of the ancestors, and from each and every brother and sister on this planet today that's trying to build a nation incorporated into this infrastructure that exists on a spiritual basis, on a culture basis, on an economical basis, on an educational basis, that we must do. We must counter this illusionary reality that we exist in, under the addiction to this social narcotics that's been injected into our minds, bodies, and spirits since we was infants, unbeknown to us what was going on at the time. But now that we're aware, we got to rise up. And I just want to mention, I can't always forget our brothers, our fathers, our warrior kings, that they were always there because they had part into bringing us into this realm. So the gentleman that I didn't come through his fellas to come through to be put in the Yanni to come into this realm, but he raised me also. That was Wilbert Thompson. The mother who raised me was Ruth Williams. My mother was Murray Williams. And I just want to put that energy out there. I want to feel that energy this morning. Because yesterday, the ending of my work day, yesterday was so great. I mean, I had 3 conversations. I had one conversation with a sheikh. A sheikh is one of those brothers that people may think is a Muslim, but they from India, and they was oppressed by the Muslims, and the Muslims and sheiks, they be having I'll just say beef, because we understand that language here in the American streets of so-called ghetto. A ghetto is just a state of mind. So, but a ghetto is a ghetto wherever you get to go. But anyway, I had this conversation with this sheik, and that brother, he gave me some knowledge, man. I know that they carry a dagger, a knife with them, but that's a ceremony dagger that they got to earn. They got to go through a process, like levels or degrees, like you becoming a mason or something. It was a very interesting conversation. Then after I run into a Mason. He had his hat on, right? And I asked him what type of, what degree he was. He said he was a 32nd. I said, why you don't want to go to the 33rd? He said he don't want to pay the money. He told me about some other things I learned is that the Prince Hall go to the 3rd degree, but to go to the higher degrees, you got to go to the Scottish Rite or the York Rites. And they right there in like that arc or whatever, you know, like the arc of the crescent, right? Something like that. But it was a very good conversation with him, man. I learned some stuff from him. He was making jokes on me, talk about, because I said William Hall, no, Prince William. And he said, that's in Virginia. And he said Prince William and Prince George are brothers. But anyway, I meant to say, what is it? Not Prince William, Prince Hall, the Masonic side or the blacks. And he said, I was told that the Scottish Rites and the York Rites are racist. You know, and that's why I say, why you practice that? He said that was the way he got to the 32nd. But anyway, that was another good conversation because when we was departing each other, he was getting off the bus. He told me to stay enlightened. I said, that was a compliment because, oh man, you know, yesterday was awesome because I was reading something from a brother that I asked. Then after that, I was trying to make it to the bank, right? And there was a brother on there. I said, man, you look familiar. Are you this brother? He was saying, nah, I might be in this and that. Then I said, man, I ain't going to make it. He said, why you say that? I said, man, they closed at 5 and I got to get down there and it's this time. He said, man, you going to make it this, believe in God. I said, you right, but I don't like calling, I don't like using the term God because if you turn around, it's dog. He said, I understand that, but that's what I use. I said, you right. He said, you use what you use. I said, you right, brother. And so that was another good conversation. And I made it to the bank. He told me to have faith and believe. And I was doubtful that I was going to make it. But he told me I made it with time to spare. Then after that, I ran into, those are the 3 episodes coming down. I was coming down Good Hope Road for those that know Good Hope Road. Or those who don't know in Washington, D.C., that's a main thoroughfare. Anyway, I got to where at my destination. I ran into another brother. Oh, man, I can't recall that. But we was in college together. We had a lot of fun. And, man, I ain't seen him in a while. And we like embraced. And then I seen a sister that I know that she embraced me. And it was awesome, man. It was just an awesome feeling. And it started off with, I asked this brother about African spirituality because I'm in search. I'm a student teacher. So I'm in search of knowledge, right, that I can convey when I speak. I want to speak the truth and I want to be factual in what I say. But see, I don't want to deal with the institutionalized divide and conquer methodology that's been put in place by these about this demonic mindset. See, the institutionalized lies or the institutional lies and this drug we take, this social narcotics, it blinds us from us. See, they want us to learn everything about his lies, which he claims to be his history, but it's his story pertaining to our story that they plagiarized and stole out of the confines of libraries and temples and everything. With all this information they took and made into secret societies like the Scott Rites and the York Rites and over there in the Vatican and all that, and the Cabo states that we live under now, and this corporation in the United States of America. I know we looked at the brother yesterday doing his final speech and all that. See, but they got an institution of racism that exists that ain't going to change because all we do when we under this system is perpetrate. It keeps the wheel turning. And see, we be like the gerbil in that spinning wheel, right? To keep it going because we ain't trying to change nothing. We trying to integrate into a system that already exists. And we got to change this system because we know that we've been affected by this system through the laws that they make. Example of that. When do they vote on the voting rights for us again? Why do they have to do that? Because of institutionalized racism that runs through the vein of this society. We can integrate in it, but if we ain't warriors trying to change it or speak power to truth, then ain't nothing going to happen. I apologize. I just feel so good from yesterday. As I said, this brother, I asked this brother, brother, I'm a student, I'm a student teacher, and I'm in search of spiritual, African spirituality, our deities, our rishis, and how do we practice that? So he told me to do this. He gave me the key and told me go through this door. And the door all the time was right here in my mind where the gold and silver is, because I'm an alchemist. Your mind, when you go in your mind, that's when you go in for minerals. You go under or in the earth to get all the minerals out. Gold, silver, diamonds, and all that. It's that saying, the saying like, don't give your pearls to swine. They say don't give your pearls and all that to swine. So it starts from the mental. It starts from the spiritual to the mental, and then you voice it out, manifest it in this reality. That's why you got to understand the inner verse. You got to understand the inner verse through your body, which is your temple, so you can have an effect upon the universe. See, we allow the universe to have an effect upon us. We got to reverse that. And that's the trick that they play. We got to reverse everything in this day and time, because they manipulated our mind and stole our spirits and manipulated them and got us emulating them when they emulate us. You can see it every day. You can see how the women's shooting this whatever in their lips, getting thick lips and thick hips and thick butts and all that, because they want to be like us, because they know we're the original people. They know that they come from us. See, they remember where they came from. And I'm not a racist. I'm a race man. See, but we got to reverse the program and the indoctrination that we have been indoctrinated with over all the years, generation after generation after generation. And an example is that I know when I was growing up, I'm a little younger than most of y'all, so when I was growing up, I used to go to churches, right? And every church I went to, they had a picture of a white dude on there, and they called him Jesus, or this, and saying that this guy Jesus, this cat called Jesus, he was the Son of God, and he was God. He was all that. He had it going on, man. But in the reality, he was a fictitious figure. And I humbly apologize if I offend somebody that practiced Christianity, but we have to sometime offend ourselves to wake up. We have to feel a little emotional pain or mental pain or something, physical pain, that, correct that. If we go back to the Nicene Council, 325 AD, don't take my word for it. Research. It's biblical history. And I know, if I know, then I know our preachers know, the reverends know, and all that. 325 AD is called the Nicene Council, where Constantine had like 200 something bishops come together, and they concocted this fictitious story of this brother they called Jesus. For one thing, there's a couple of things. See, the J didn't come out until 15 or 1600s. So therefore that J couldn't have been in existence when this guy or whatever personality walked. But if you go further back than 325 AD, I'll get the date for you. But if we go back to the concept of ancient Kemet, I'll definitely get the date for you, because I want you to check this out too. It was spiritual essence, or what, decree, or what people adhered to at that time. It was dealing with Asar, Aset, and Heru. Heru, being the son of Asar and Aset, was the first son through that cohabitation or whatever. And it was a miracle because it came from the canal of the Yoni. Out of the canal of the Yoni, from the power of the phallus. So in that essence, that was like the Immaculate Conception, the concept of that the so-called, that Constantine used to fabricate that energy or fabricate that information to establish Christianity. That, see, they were the real pagans and they called us pagans because they worship the sun for real. I mean, in the essence of worshiping the sun. They were sun worshippers and Roman emperor. The Roman emperors was all that in the Roman Empire. And the Greeks, you know what they were. They were totally messed up with orgies and all that. And so were the Jews. So we're the original people that we had the correct teachings, the correct lifestyles of theology and everything. Because really, if you look around you, it's all about being in accord with nature. The energy is an energy that keeps us on the right track, on the righteous track. It's all about energy. It's all about energy, vibrations, and frequencies. And see, our natural enemies, they know that. See, they took and stole everything that we knew and used it for themselves. And then we go to school and all that, and we get jobs with them, and we forget to work for ourselves to establish a nation once again, to establish a black nation, a United States of Africa, a United States of Africans in America, or American Africans, the descendants of Africa. And we should have done this yesterday. And I just want to express this, getting this key of who I be, and it already was in me. Good morning, my sister, Sister Deborah. And I humbly apologize. The people that are online with me, sharing this energy with me, I think that's Dendry, Gillespie. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Ashe, Hotep, and Edward Ford. Assalamu alaikum. Yes, my brother, Black God, and my sister, Deborah Watson. She is Amazon warrior queen that is a dream manifested in reality. And I say that from the heart, from the ancestors, on the pathway of the ancestors. And I want to give shout outs to, excuse me for one moment from distracting from my storyline or whatever I would say, but I just want to say power to brother Malik Farrakhan with Ceasefire, Don't Smoke the Brothers or Sisters, an iconic figure in that area in Washington, D.C. I just want to say salamu alaikum to that brother. He's not, he may be ruined, but he didn't check in or whatever. But yesterday, I was so focused on what I was saying, I didn't give him that greeting back, and I just want to say it now. And I also want to say salamu alaikum Hotep and Ashe to brother Soy Ill, another iconic figure in Washington, D.C. A strong brother that always an activist in everything. He always ad-lib. I mean, and when we was in college together in the belly of the beast, we did a lot of plays and stuff like that. And a great brother. I also want to give a great admiration and greetings to a young, dynamic, visionary, politically astute young man that made history. And I was part of that history and of a team that made history, 2016. And now that history is being made in action by the people, we the people. It's like that slogan right there shook the world of Ward 8. It got people saying that statement there, we the people, it's a revolutionary statement. It's like we are becoming a cult, and statements like that. I humbly apologize. I don't want to, stir the hornet's nest, but it shouldn't be that. We should be unified in our effort to establish our power I say black power. I would say that, or I would say human power. I would say that we need to establish that under leadership that is righteously guided, leadership that has tutelage of race men, and that's in that young brother and our council member of Ward 8, Trayon White. I want to give that brother that encouragement, that respect that he deserves as a young brother that's developing other young brothers to be leaders in our community. And not only the young brothers, but he reaches out to the elders, to the children. It's a holistic approach by this young brother, and like I said, I support him in every way. And keep up the good work, my brother. A spiritual warrior that's politically minded, not dealing with politics, but dealing with politics as it should tick around the clock, and be appropriate in dealing with it. Being at the table, getting some of that food. And that's just not looking at the menu, as he would say. He got that from another iconic figure, the mayor for life, Murray Barry. And I want to say to all our ancestors, Hotep, Ashe, keep supporting us. Give that energy. Give us that push by divine decree. And get back on the subject matter. It just was an awesome day yesterday, man, that once this brother gave me that key, and the key is within me, it's in each and every one of us. When we understand the inner verse, see, it starts with the DNA and the study of self. And when you study yourself, you're going to come across a lot of information. We can't be scared of the information because they cut us off from our information, from knowing ourselves. We have to sometimes go into esoteric knowledge. We have to make some time go into arcane knowledge. But if we are righteous people and have an understanding of what is the fallacies of all these concepts, they created they created the devil, and they created God, and they got them. Everything come from this single energy, good and evil. But you have the power. You got the power within yourself to become God-like in the personality of that, or the characteristics of that, and be God-like in your actions of love, actions of charity, action of sharing, actions of lifting up your brothers and sisters. And when you understand that and know who you are, and know that your body is your temple, and that the energy in you is the substance of God. It's the snack. I apologize for using that word God. I got the created energy. The reason I don't like that, because it don't set well to me. You turn it around, it's dog. Then if you go into the Roman what you call that? The spiritual context, I'll find the word about that later. The cosmologic concept that they use, Romulus and Remus. It was two dogs that was raised by a she-wolf, and then the concept of God come from there. Those two dogs, and then there's another one where dog is a man's best friend, and you ask why? Because he used to lick the leprosy or the sores of those Neanderthals that was in the caves of Europe. And I don't attack people and other races or whatever, but the reality, we have to deal with the truth. See, our truth has been distorted, and our story has been distorted, and we gotta reverse it. We gotta be willing to reverse it at all the attacks you might get, and why he's saying that and doing this. But I'm not only saying anything about Christianity, I'm saying it about Islam too. To me, personally, Islam, Christianity, Judaism and all that, they shortchange us. The timeline of who we are as a people, melanated people, goes far beyond these timelines of these so-called religions. And these institutions of religions are instituted to keep us separated, because the majority of us we practice them. We practice Christianity, we practice Islam, we practice Judaism and all that, but we are the majority in it. So if we are the majority in it and they keep us separate from each other, separate like a hand with those fingers like that, they keep us separate, but they don't bring us together. See, that's what we need. We need that fist, that strength of the power of the fist. Like that. Like this week, what can we do? We're not connected. The energy is not there. See, it's the divine energy to bring us together. It's just a natural energy. And we got to realize that, and we just got to be that. We just got to be that. We got to heal what we've been through and going through in this day and time, but it stems from yesterday. It stems from sitting in the classroom being told who we were. They continuously, year after year, generation after generation, teach us what? They don't teach us that we build pyramids. They don't teach us that Imhotep was a multi-genius. They don't teach us that the concept of Adam and Eve comes from ancient Egypt in Akabu land, in ancient Kemet, that the brother was seeking knowledge in order to be a pharaoh, and the sister Shishitat, I might be pronouncing her name wrong, but I humbly apologize. So I get tongue twisted sometimes. But he needed to be in leadership, so he needed knowledge. So she went to the tree of knowledge, sort of, metaphorically, and got the fruit and brought it to him. And he ate of the fruit, but he became knowledgeable. He became enlightened. And he was able to rule. But it's not that in the essence of Adam and Eve, when Eve's supposed to have been deceived by a snake and gave Adam an apple that woke him up, in the same context, enlightened or gave him knowledge. Why wouldn't you want knowledge? Why wouldn't the creator want his creation to have knowledge? Think about it. Think about it, man. The concepts that we've been taught. The creator that created his created supposedly man and woman, which did, but in that essence, but he didn't want him to know. He didn't want him to be knowledgeable, but he taught him everything. So that's knowledge within itself. So what type of knowledge that he didn't want him to have? That they were naked or something? Come on now, be for real. If you got eyes, you can see that you're naked. And they already supposed to dealt with each other, cohabitated to bring other life into the planet. The two suns, anyway. Oh, man. Well, I apologize for that, but it's the reality. And like I said, I say Islam, Christianity, all of them do us a disservice. If we don't go back to who we originally were and go into African spirituality and deal with all like in Nubian, in the eternal aspects of inland, interior Africa, and deal with the concept of African spirituality from there, the Orishas and Shongo and all those type of, when they're not gods per se, they just, example of that, like in the Islamic faith, they have the 99 attributes of Allah, different qualities or aspects that Allah pulls on in a human character and make you better when you apply them in your life. The same thing in that those orishas or those personalities and characters of those particular so-called, I don't want to say gods, meta-netas, that's natural or nature or whatever. Those particular essence of that was and is what it's talking about. Not per se gods, multi-gods, no. Multi-aspect of the one creator. That's all it is. Multi-aspects of one creator. And we got to realize that, because they want to call us pagans. And they the ones that deal with bestiality. They turn, like, when we had voodoo and all that, they turn all that to evil. They call healing and dealing with herbs witchcraft. It's only that way when you put an evil connotation on it, when you do evil things like they have done throughout history, and especially to us. People want to say about slavery that everybody been a slave. Yeah, everybody been a slave. Even the Europeans been enslaved and all that. But nobody like us. Nobody on this planet Earth have been enslaved like us. Nobody been burnt, lynched, raped, beating, your language taken from, and you talk your language, they cut your tongue out. You beat the drum for communication, they cut your hands off. These people are demonic people, man. I ain't gonna say all of them, but it's in their bloodline and they can be. See, but we had some John Browns and some other Europeans that sacrificed their life for an effort that they believe in. That they believe in that everybody should be on not suffering from what we suffer from. For whatever reason that the Creator turned their heart towards us to be those that sacrifice their own sons and sacrifice their own life to be beside us to help us or whatever, for whatever reason. Those type of people I can say, I can tip my hat to them. But us as a people, we got to heal, self-heal. Especially our brothers, those soldiers, those warriors on the street corner. Those hustlers on the street corner, man. Man, we gotta overcome that. We gotta turn this thing around. We gotta make them see. We gotta trick them like they tricked us. We gotta show them that all them drugs and all them guns that we bring, that they bringing in our communities, man, we don't want that no more. We gonna be entrepreneurs without selling your drugs and using your guns on each other. We will get those guns and we will become self-disciplined. We will become an army unit. We will be disciplined. We're gonna drill. We're gonna march. We're gonna defend ourselves as need to be. We're gonna stop killing each other. We're gonna start loving each other, and that's what we got to do. And we start that by changing what we think and what we speak. We got to speak things into existence. We got to know that our body is a temple. We got to know that the energy of the Creator is in us. We got to know that we can develop the personality and the character of the God that, excuse me, I don't like that word, excuse me, the Creator energy that's in us. And I humbly apologize. I hope I don't offend nobody, but my understanding has me wanting to not say that word. Because if you turn it around, it's dog, and then they got things that deal with the dog. I mean, a lot of people, we have dogs. A lot of people have dogs for different reasons. Sometimes they have dogs for bestiality. They're used to that or whatever. And I just ain't saying it. They got pictures of it. I mean, that's their history as they was in the caves. Where they love that dog, and they love it for different reasons than we love it for. But see, take on that character and personality, that divine character and personality that we need to take on. And I just want to share my energy. I want to share my energy of enlightenment, the light that I see, a divine light that was given to me by divine decree and by my ancestors, the pathway that I walk. And I'm not no better than nobody. I ain't better than nobody. I ain't no celebrity. I ain't got no money and all that. I'm content though. I'm very content with who I am. See, I'm cool with the skin I'm in, right? I'm cool with being so-called black. I'm cool with being melanated. And as my melanated brother would say, carbonated. It's an awesome feeling, man, to know that you are the essence of life. To know that your lineage stems all the way back to the Creator. That you are connected to the matriarchy queen, the giver of life. To know that when we had political control of the world, it was harmony and peace. It makes me feel so in tune with nature. It makes me feel like that creative energy of Hiru that was given to me through Asar and Aset, that personality of creative energy, an alchemist. That I can go into the mine and get diamonds and change rocks into gold and stuff like that. That I can telepathically communicate. That I can travel, transmutate. That I'm capable of doing that. In my studies, esoteric and arcane, one moment I'll be able to ascertain that as a spiritual warrior, mystical warrior, and a warrior priest king and a mystic griot, and being anointed in the light of Christ, because Christ is nothing but a title. I don't know if I'm supposed to be exposing myself like that, but see, I have no fear. And it's not for my ego. See, I'm not egotistical or self-centered or arrogant or none of that. I live a life of humble humility, growth and development, because I wanted this aura that I have, I wanted to be felt. I wanted to be felt by my brothers in the street, on the street corners. When they see me, they see harmony and peace, but they also see a warrior. There's very disciplined. I'm very disciplined in the art of war. See, also on those other attributes that I have, I'm also an African ninja. And I'm not here to offend you. I'm here to motivate you and to stimulate you. But on the aspect of that, I want you to know that I'm your brother. I'm your brother, a real brother. I'm a man. I'm your brother. Don't have no skeletons in my closet. I'm transparent. What you see is what you see. And I think by being a Washingtonian, you won't hear nothing bad about me as far as like what skeletons in my closet. I'm not an agent provocateur and none of that type of stuff. I'm against all that. I'm for us loving each other, coming together, unifying, organizing, and developing an infrastructure. I ain't about integration. I'm about separation. I'm about, if I'm going into whatever, I'm going in to change it, because I'm a peacemaker, not a peace breaker. I love my people. My people is my concern. And I'm sharing all this because of how I was stimulated yesterday. I was stimulated because in the chamber, the pyramid of my mind, a brother gave me a key that I was trying to find. I was like, it was like, oh man, I didn't do that. Well, I'm gonna get ready to cut off because I ain't got that much energy anyway. But he gave me the key it was always here in my temple. And the light that he gave me was so awesome, and it was demonstrated yesterday in my conversations. It was awesome, man. So on this pathway that I walk, I don't walk alone. I got the spirits of my ancestors. I got the divine energy. And I got everybody that I meet and I touch. Because I'm going to give everybody that I meet a word of wisdom that was given to me from the wise. A vision of us being unified once again through the light of understanding of the universe and who we are as a people, as builders of nations, federations, of countries, and what was stolen from us and flagranized, it doesn't matter. The time is now. We're cultivating the seeds that was planted in our subconscious, those righteous seeds, and we're planting righteous seeds for the next generation of leaders. See, this political climate that we are faced with now ain't nothing but another test, trial, and tribulations. Because the last poet said, hardships are the spice of life, the molds and shape the perfect man. That's all it is. We're going to be all right. And with that, I'm going to put something on YouTube, right, called Beyonder by the last poets. Beyonder. Beyond this is the beginning of that. As we live in the now, we got to stay black. I'm talking about the blackest of black. I'm talking about the melanated black. I'm talking about we be so black that we reach out to each other and we see the light of peace, the light of harmony, the energy of love that we should have for each other. It ain't we should. We just gotta grab it. It's in there. It's waiting for us to grasp. I'm talking mainly to my young brothers or whoever in our communities that's get so angry for whatever reason and want to kill somebody, want to shoot them and stuff like that. Man, for what? For what? Over what? You can't get that angry, man. It ain't enough money. I can see if it's like somebody raped somebody's baby or something like that, or rape somebody or stuff like that, but over drugs or gambling or a woman and all that, those not no reasons. And you're not at war with one another. We have a natural enemy. We have an enemy. We got to be disciplined enough spiritually, economically, educationally, academically, to face our enemy, not through violence, but through development, spiritual development, mental development. Then we can face them. In the essence of that, this day, I hope it be one of your greatest days ever. That when you walk out the door to face this reality this day, that it be so spontaneous of peace and happiness and harmony, and you run into somebody or walk into somebody, and that light is glowing from both of y'all, and a smile come on y'all face, and y'all just have a pleasant conversation of motivating each other, stimulating, agitating, and coming together in union, spiritual union. I don't care if it's male, female, sister, brother. But being naturally in accordance with our nature. And let's just unify from yesterday. Let's start it yesterday and continue on. Again, I want to give salams, I want to give greetings, I want to give hoteps, ashes, and everything to my people in whatever modality that they operate, whatever institution of worship that they operate in, and say that we got to unify. You can still worship the Creator how you like to, but let's unify on that, not let it keep us separated. We can't do that. We got to stop this divide and conquer, and that is the most prominent way that they keep us separated is through the institutionalization of the religions that we practice. We got to wake up, man, to know that we know that it's divide and conquer, but we want to hold on to that power or whatever. Keep your power, but connect the power. You can be at the head of the table, but come together. We got to come together no matter what we practice. Because I remember what Malcolm said. He said, they don't kill you because you're Muslim, Christian, or Jew. They kill you because you're black through and through. So with that, I love y'all. And in love, I came into this programming, deprogramming myself, and this dropping seeds from myself. Not drop. You know how the wind blows and the pollen goes around and all that, and then it grows somewhere else. That's what it is. It's from my mindset to your mindset without the television set. It's like a divine essence, a divine decree that's given to me from my ancestors and the divine energy. And it is what it is because it is. I feel it. I know it. And I got the shine and the glow to show it. I got that spiritual happiness in myself, man, to share it with my people. With that, I say peace, power, and love. Respect yourself, honor yourself. Self-healing is something that's needed. They say hurt people, hurt people. Well, heal people, heal people. Take away the hurt, apply the healing, and watch the process change for you, your family, your community. We are peacemakers, not peace breakers. We are naturally, by our divine essence, a people of the Creator, loving and harmonious people. We can't emulate and we can't let this stimulation of these frequencies and all this negative energy that's by design affect us. We got to know that we're at war against a whole, it's a demonic set, a demonic mentality that we got to fight against spiritually and mentally, most of all. Mental and spiritual, in your mind where all your minerals lies. Where you realize or can realize all their lies. Hug somebody, love somebody, and be at peace. Always be at peace and harmony. And we got to grow together. We got to come together. We got to get to know one another. We got to do this yesterday because we're in a political climate. We only got a few more days for their next 100 days and their implementation of their plans. So as they do their planning, we do our planning. We got to prepare also. Stand back or watch and observe, but in that doing that, be preparing for whatever. Keep doing what you're doing, but be watchful. Watch your community. Watch everything around you. Protect your communities. You know they got 8,000 missing people, man. You know it's for body parts and melanin. Stay strong. Be diligent. Love y'all. Peace.